This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Rachni Jain. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I would like to welcome you all to this online meeting. Please take a moment to review the guidelines for this online meeting posted in the chat window. I now request the moderator, Mr. Lakshmipati, to introduce the speaker and start the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Rajini. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Lakshmipati and I will be moderating this meeting. Agricultureinformation.com likes to welcome to this meeting Mr. Vihar Pancholi, the CEO of Maverik Inc., Vadodara, Gujarat. Mr. Vihar Pancholi will be speaking on the topic Smart and Green Village Program. I now request the speaker to begin.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Lakshmi.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Rajni. Thank you for giving me this platform. Friends, we will talk about the green and clean rural India, how we can make the villages sustainable and how we can make it more cleaner and greener in order to negate the global warming phenomena and also the increasing level of pollutants. So let me just give the background of Maverik INC. Maverik, we are a group of companies, and we also have our NGO, that is Gram Vikas Trust, under which we take care of many of the rural activities. And today what we are going to discuss about it is a majorly focused on the rural and tribal regions, where we just work under the name of our NGO, that is GVT, Gram Vikas Trust. We have our roadmap. If we see the roadmap of Maverik, it is in existence since 2000, early 2000, and formally we registered in 2003. Now, I will also keep on sharing the slides, and you please note down if you have any queries, and later on we can discuss on those topics. So Maverik, as I said, we are mainly into waste management, waste processing, and the conversion of this waste into renewable energy. Or that means we are mainly focusing on upcycling of the waste material. Waste as such, if we see, there is nothing like waste, but it is surplus or the unused material. We are just sending back to the dumping yard or to the nature. Whatever is decomposed itself and gets converted into compost, that is going back into the nature. Plastic, of course, we cannot convert it into any of the useful material except certain process, let's say pyrolysis. Then only we can convert this polymer into monomer and back into the oil. So that is different aspect altogether. We will discuss later on. So whatever is recyclable, what can be upcycled, we do that. It is not only we are talking about the waste, we are talking about the waste, we are talking about the water, we are talking about semi-solid waste. Water is a big issue. It is a precious commodity, and it is a natural resource. Government is also, not only our government, but across the world, we are having only 1% of the fresh water or the total volume of the water on the earth. And we are really going to face a critical situation down the line 2 to 3 years. If we, I'm just deviating a little bit from the, this topic of the waste management, but this is equally crucial aspect to touch the base, because if we don't do the conservation of the water, we are going to face the acute or the severe crunch in near future. Many of the cities like Bangalore, Bombay, Delhi, Hyderabad, we are facing a lot of problem of the water as on date, and down the line, 2 to 3 years, we will be having the rationing of the water. Well, so coming back to just sustainable and sustainable rural India, we have to take care of two things. One is waste management, another is water. Because until and unless we just take care of these two things, we won't be having the uh, the easy way to develop the India, because our Indian economy, it is based on the rural, it is a rural economy, it is an agriculture economy. Over 70% of the population, it is in the rural area. So as I said, we are Maverick is believing in the motto of excellence is the acceptance. So we are always trying to give the best to our clientele. Just we are giving our best of the capabilities and the technology we have developed over a period of time, because our team, it is comprising many of the professionals of the industry, scientists, and also the technologists. We are also affiliated with the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE, also other premier institutions like NDDB, National Debris Development Board, also the State Energy Development Board. We are also empaneled with the KVIC, that is Khadi Village Industries Commission. Friends, why I'm just giving all these names, because these are the institutions which are working at the grassroots level, and they are promoting this kind of schemes. They are implementing these plans laid down by the central and state governments, and they are working in hand with the state governments and the regional authorities. So whenever we just finish this presentation, you would come to know what kind of projects are being executed by all these premier institutions with the help of people like you, people like us who are working. We are, in fact, we are bridging the gap between the system and the government, because many of these schemes are there which we hardly come to know that this scheme was there. I mean, whenever we just come to know from the some last year financial results or the executed plan projects and surplus funds which has gone back to the center or to the respective department, that time we simply just say, oh, we didn't know this thing. I mean, this project could have been done in our region, in our village, and the things could have been different. But why? Ignorance is or the lack of information, I would say, that is playing crucial role over here. And that is where we come into the picture. We just bring all the information to the target audience, to the concerned people, to the concerned bodies like Gram Panchayat, Village Panchayat, and the district level administration, that this village or this particular area requires this sort of project or this scale of the project, this type of the technology, and that's how we can develop it holistically. So we have, as I said, the team of professional and technologists and stalwarts in the waste management, agriculture, and also in the water treatment and conservation. So we try to not only set up the project, we also try to educate the people. We try to train the people in the region so that once project has been executed, there won't be any after sales service or after execution of the project. There's always big lacuna or there's always big vacuum that who will maintain, who will operate this project. So we also take care of that, those aspects. So we do the backward as well as forward integration. So these are the services, the gamut of our services. We do waste management and comprising solid, liquid, and also the agriculture waste. We are having crop-specific projects and technology as well. So we also do the conversion of the waste into the energy in terms of either we convert this waste into gas and gas can be utilized for the thermal application for the cooking, or we can also convert the same gas into power. Wherever there's a requirement of power, we can generate power and we can evacuate in the grid. If it depends on the terms and condition and also the scale of the project. Also, we have the byproduct, or I would say there are two main products from the waste management project. One is biogas, another is digestate. Now the digestate has solid as well as liquid. So we have also developed the very basic but very efficient technology which segregates the solid from the liquid, and we will be having two strains of the fertilizer. One will be organic fertilizer compost, solid compost. Another will be liquid fertilizer, or the liquid nutrient we call it. So the liquid nutrient can be utilized as in the drip, and there are many progressive farmers which have set up these projects with the help of Maverik and our other associates, and they are selling this liquid fertilizer right from 5 rupees up to 45 to 50 rupees per liter. It depends on the type of process and the fortification you do in the product. So we will talk about that also in the coming slides. So as I said, we also take care of the mass awareness program. We do the social re-engineering, and we also take care of rural health and hygiene projects by virtue of execution of this solid treatment, or the solid to or processing project. Because what happens usually, the villages, we have almost negligible infrastructure so far. Sewage water disposal is concerned, solid waste disposal is concerned. So, and on top of that, we have a lot of cattle rearing activities. So people, they just keep the cattle just in front of their house, and they just collect the dung daily, and they just keep it up, keep the piling it up in front of the household. Now, as a result of this piling of the dung, there will be smell. There will be a lot of, I think it is ideal breeding ground for the mosquito and flies and all these insects, which also possess the threat to the public or the mass health. So when you just utilize this waste on daily basis, there won't be any smell, there won't be any fly, there won't be any mosquito. So this kind of basic issues of health and hygiene will be addressed at the primary level itself. Number two, when we are processing this waste and we are converting it into the valuable green and clean fuel, villages will be getting the clean fuel at very, very cheap cost. So that will also help to maintain and sustain the green foliage or green coverage in and around the village. So that will also help to fight or negate the global warming, because trees, they are consuming carbon dioxide as a food and they emit oxygen. So oxygen level will be higher. Right now, this pandemic, we are facing a lot of problem of oxygen. So trees are the real friend, or they are the real healer of this earth and its suprasystem. So this kind of project is having multilateral impact, positive impact on the environment, on the humans, on the earth. So yeah. So how do Maverik approach these projects? So we have two segments. One is micro as well as macro, and we can just to understand the feeling of people, just need of people, we conduct the mass awareness program. And what do? Let's say we come to know from our source or we receive any inquiry, let's say from the Maharashtra, for example. Now there's a village in the remote area of the Maharashtra, say Ratnagiri. Now it's a high altitude area, and it is having a lot of rainfall. Now, what to do with the biomass they are having generated day-to-day basis? So we just take care of the, I mean, we just go to the people through the local NGO or the target audience specific approach. So we identify the local people who are bridging that gap of the language and the cultural barriers. We just understand the local people's psyche, we understand their sentiments, and we understand their basic requirement. That what is the village population, what is the geography of the village, what are their requirements, and what are their basic issues with the energy and with the waste. Because when we just think about the waste, we always try to convert that waste into some value-added product. And first, which strikes across our mind, and that is energy. Now, the waste is of two types. One is biodegradable, another is non-biodegradable. So we take care of both types of the waste. And specifically, we are taking care of biodegradable waste, which can be processed. So what do we do that based on the quantity of the waste available on daily basis in the village, we decide the capacity of the plant. Let's say you have 200 cattle. Now one cow, it will give you around 10 kg dung per day, and buffalo, it gives 12 kg of the dung per day. Now 1 ton, just to collect 1 ton of the dung from particular village or particular project site, you need to have on an average 100 cattle. So from 100 cattle, we can collect 1 metric ton or 1 ton of the dung on daily basis. And if we do the energy and the mass balance, so 1 metric ton dung will give you 50 meter cube of the biogas. Now, 50 meter cube of the biogas, it may sound something alien for a layman. So if I convert it calorific value wise into in comparison of LPG, it is coming to 24 kg of LPG a day, or from 1 ton. So 1 ton of the dung is equivalent to 24 kg of LPG. And if you have surplus or the adequate quantity of the dung, at many places we have found out in Gujarat, in North Gujarat, there is one district, it's called Banaskantha. Now Banaskantha district has highest cattle population per square kilometer in entire Asia, and it is number 3 in the world. And Banas dairy, there's a dairy because of course there are a lot of milks, so a lot of cattle, and there after agriculture, cattle rearing is the second largest and most lucrative business activity in Banaskantha district of North Gujarat. There's Banas Dairy, which is processing 6.2 million liters of milk every day. Now, there is I would say almost 15 times more than Amul. Is Amul Dairy. Amul Dairy is small, but Amul is a federation, so it has the label, and you have to. I mean, that is a different story. But coming back to this thing, Banas Dairy, what they have done, they have based on the our suggestions. Maverik suggested them to start up this kind of different clusters across the Banas district. Now Banaskantha district, they have developed this kind of projects, and because of the surplus or the more than adequate quantity of dung availability, we are converting this biogas into CNG. And now Banas Dairy has Banas Gas. There's a distribution of the CNG. And this entire revenue, it is going back to the cattle owners and the farmers. And their income has gone 3 to 4 times more compared to what it used to be 2 years back. Now, this model can be replicated anywhere and across India, wherever we have the cattle, or it is not only subject to the cattle dung. Let's say you in Maharashtra, you have less cattle, for example, but you have sugar cane. Now, sugar cane, it is having a lot of sugar mills, which is direct raw material for the sugar mills, from where you get the pressed mud. And wherever there's a sugar mill, there's a distillery based on the molasses. Because when you crush the sugar cane, you are having the juice, which is further purified, clean, processed, crystallized, and you get the sugar. But the fraction or the liquor which has left along with the impurities, that is ideal raw material to recycle, to process, and to capture the clean and green fuel. So from that gas, again, we can convert the biogas into CNG. 1 ton of pressed mud, that is, they call in North India, they call it melly. It's just like a cake. It's a black cake. So it's called pressed mud in English. So the pressed mud, it is ideal raw material to process, to digest and capture the methane out of it, and which is getting double the quantity of gas compared to dung. So 1 ton of pressed mud will give you 100 meter cube of the biogas. So for capturing 100 m3 or just to produce 100 m3 of the biogas, you need 2 tons, that is 200 cattle. Over here you get from 1 metric ton of the pressed mud. So that is another raw material. So this is also product from the agriculture activity. Number 3, once you extract the sugar, or once you crystallize the sugar from the sugar cane juice, whatever is left, that black liquor, that is called molasses. Now from molasses, there are distilleries which is processing molasses through anaerobic digestion and convert it into alcohol. And 1 liter of alcohol production produces 8 to 12 liters of wastewater. That is high in COD and BOD. So forget this technical jargons. So this water is highly polluted. So this polluted water further can be processed, and another 50 to 60 meter cube biogas can be captured from 1,000 liter. So 1 m3 of the spent wash, we can produce another 50 meter cube of the biogas at par with the 1 ton of animal dung. So this is another source of raw material in the rural or tribal area. We also have the poultry activities. So poultry activities, when you have the layer birds, so the poultry farms where you have the layer birds, they lay the eggs. So they daily produce around 30 to 40 grams of the dropping, and from 1 ton of the poultry dropping, we can capture around 80 meter cube of the biogas. In South India, nearby Namakkal, there are so many poultry farms. So there are many poultry dropping or poultry waste-based biomethanation projects. So there are every raw material or every in-feed material, it has its own advantage as well as drawback or the disadvantage. So Maverik, we have customized this technology. It is, of course, it's a basic thing is biotechnology, but is a biomethanation this technology. But the thing is, you have to make the changes based on the type of substrate or the raw material. So that is what our USP or the unique selling proposition is, that we give the technology based on the geographical location, type of substrate, and application of the final product. Supposing if your project is in Jammu Kashmir or in Himachal Pradesh, which is cold region, and during winter, at least 3 to 4 months, your temperature goes less than 5 degrees. So your technology, I mean, this the structure, the design, the pre-treatment of the raw material, that would be also different. So this type of customized technology we provide as a result of our this many years of the experience and the field research. So we what we discussed in the beginning, that we are talking about the cleaner, greener, and self-sustainable village in the India. So this project, we call this concept a Gobar Bank concept, which is integral part of this rural or the cleaner India. So what do we do? I think we have already discussed this details, so I'll just flip this slide. So if we just discuss more about the Gobar Bank, that Gobar Bank project, what is Gobar Bank project? It is on this, we have conceptualized or we conceived this idea long back in early 2000. And what happened during 2005 and 6, there was a bird flu pandemic, which was the first ever of its kind in the world. And India was also not spared from that. So many rural and mainly tribal region, tribal people, they just keep a majority the poultry. And due to this bird flu, all the birds were culled by the authority. And they were compelled to divert their activities towards the dairy farming. So because of except milk, they didn't have any other income. And that's how we just introduced this idea to one of the regions in South Gujarat, which is 100% tribal belt. There's a village called Bit Budrak. So in that Bit Budrak, we just started this project, a pilot project. And what we have kept in the mind, that how we can approach the local people. So it is highly customized in the nature. And we just kept many facets, majorly target audience, their education level, their cultural influence, local, the need of the energy, also the consumption pattern of the energy, and the frequency, and also the budget. How much do they spend for their daily fuel requirement? And based on that, we divided the entire project activities into 3 phases. So phase 1 was just identification of the project location and what are the criteria. So these are the listed ones, that it should be that area should be having the demand of the energy. Also there should be adaptability of the new kind of technology and the energy. Supposing if people are acquainted with the firewood or the kerosene, and if you introduce the LPG, you need to educate them how to keep the cylinder, how to operate the burner, how to keep the burner clean, how to maintain the cylinder and the safety valve, and how to operate it. So there are so many things which we always face. These are we call teething problem initially when we just execute or we implement the project. So what we did in the Vidbudrak, we just approached their Sakhi Mandal. Sakhi Mandal is women groups who are making the village women aware about the child health, the hygienity, about the energy conservation, about the women's health, and so many similar activities. So we approached them that what are the level of adaptability or the acceptance level of the local people if we introduce them to new concept of the waste management. So with the help of them, we understood their daily requirement of fuel, and based on that, the monthly expenditure of fuel was around 250 to 300 rupees. It was average 300 rupees, and mainly they were just chopping of the woods from the nearby this forest, and they also had issues with the forest department. Also, they didn't have the consistent supply of electricity there. They also had issue with the inferior quality of the soil. So all these issues were there. So what we did, we just introduced them that this kind of if we go ahead with this project, what will be the direct and the indirect benefits? So we educate them that this government project, we will collect the dung from each household on daily basis. And they said that they are used to collect the dung daily, dump it just right in front of their doorstep, and they just leave it for the composting. So they used to sell this compost twice in a year. And we also explore that how much money they are just getting from selling of this compost every year. So per season, per tractor trolley load, they used to get around 2,500 rupees. So twice in a year, so they used to earn around 5,000 rupees per year. Now, this is dry dung. Now, if you see the composition of dung, dung is 95% plus it is water. And when it gets dry, so your mass gets reduced. So you are losing the money. If you just compare it, if you sell your dung daily, which is having a lot of water or the moisture, we could convince them that if we collect the dung daily, if we purchase it daily, the water content will be there, the average weight will be higher, and as a result of that, every year they would earn 6,800 rupees surplus compared to those 5,000 rupees. So altogether, their gross income, or gross in the sense the net revenue from dung selling used to be 11,500 to 13,000 rupees. So that is double the amount than what they used to earn from the selling of the dung. So this is aspect number one. Number two, when you just sell the dung, you are getting money, but that's not the end of the story. Business as usual is once you sell the dung, that's the end of the story. Over here, the story starts from here. Your dung goes to the plant. We process the dung over there, and the dung gets converted into biogas. Now the biogas is going to be supplied to each and every household of the village. So in Vidbudrak, we had initially 85 members, and they were also skeptical about, they were not sure about that how they would get the gas. So when we supplied the gas with the uniform pressure, they were not ready to believe. Now the thing is, if you see the tribal area or in the rural area, the contour, the surface, it is not even, it is not flat. In tribal village is very typical arrangement that you have hillocks. Few households or a few herds are on the hill, few at the bottom, and few in the uh, depression, or the, you can say, in the valley. So when you supply the gas to the ground level house, he would be having the uniform pressure. But as you go on the hill, the pressure will reduce. If you go farther, again, the pressure will be reduced. So we overcome this issue with the help of our patented technology, that is PRS, pressure regulatory system. And then we used to maintain the uniform pressure, the uniform flow of the gas at every single burner of the village at the same time. So eventually we have 124 connections in the village of 160 people. So this is the unique unique achievement we have done in the Budrak village. Well, story doesn't end over here. We have also got the digestate at the end of the process. Now that process that gives you two fractions of the fertilizer. One is organic compost, that is solid, which you get on the top of the separator. Another is liquid fertilizer that you get at the after the filtration, you get that thing. And the water we use, it gets 100% recycled in form of liquid fertilizer. Compost, it is being used by the beneficiaries or the farmers. Now what we did as a result of this project, now what I explained, that we have gas, and the gas we are supplying it to the beneficiaries daily 2 times. Again, we went through the Sakhi Mandal. So we asked the women head of the villages, so women head of the village women group, that what is your requirement, or what are the ideal timings you are looking for the gas supply, because the main activity of the entire village is agriculture or the cattle rearing. So they leave early in the morning. They said we need gas between 6:30 in the morning to 8:30, and after that they are either in the farm, or they are just grazing the cattle, or they are doing some other work, and they come back around 4:30, 4 to 4:30, and they again start cooking around 5 o'clock in the evening. So they said we need gas in the at 5 o'clock, 5 to 6:30. So we set up these two timings, 2 hours in the morning, 1.5 hours in the evening. And that village has also a church. So they used to ring the bell at 6:30. So that was the sign for everyone that gas supply has started. And another gong of the bell, that is a sign that gas supply is going to be stopped. Just to run the plant, we need people. So we employed the local people. So we generated the local employment. Now the villagers are paying us 200 rupees per month for the gas supply. So that is the revenue. So from that revenue, we are purchasing the dung, and whatever the compost we sell to the farmers or the local people or non-members or the from other villages. So that revenue, that is pure surplus money, or that is the additional corpus. So every year we keep on paying more per kg of the dung to the members. So this is how we have increased the income of the local farmers. So these kind of benefits, this kind of impact on the rural economy helps to improve the socio-economic structure and the profile of the farmers and the rural people of the India. Now, if we double the income, Indian economy right now it is 1.8 trillion US dollar, out of which 70% is based on the agriculture. Now, 1.8 billion, 1.8 trillion, 70% of that, and if you double that amount, at least if you double or if you increase it 1.5 times, just think about where we would be down the line 2 to 3 years. So, I mean, present government, they are also trying, all the governments, they are trying for that. And if we strengthen our villages, if we strengthen the economy of our villages, then there is no looking back. All we need, we are not only improving or implementing this kind of projects, we are also trying to improve the infrastructure, right from the water conservation, water treatment. Also, we are integrating two different renewable energy sources. One is, let's say, biomethanation. You have produced the some exotic flowers or some exotic vegetable or some grain, and which needs to be stored. So in India, what we have seen is a lack of infrastructure for the storage. There is no scientific or adequate facility to store the finished product or the produce. So let's say right now, by virtue of this plant, you have liquid fertilizer, you have solid compost, you have improved the soil quality, you have increased the per acreage yield of your crop. But at the same time, there are other farmers who are also in the same pursuit. They have also grown let's say 5 times more cabbage or tomatoes. At the same time, when you just go and sell it in the market, you will not get the desired price. So for that, you are left with two options. Either you store it and you sell it when the prices are at your desired level, or you do the value addition. You process it, packaging, shredding, I mean, anything. You can convert it into powder, you can convert it into, I mean, you just dehydrate it in terms of, I mean, in case of garlic, okra, onion, you can dehydrate, store it, and then you sell it. You get 3 to 4 times more money, I mean, profit compared to what you get right now. So this kind of facilities we are also implementing in the villages, which is based on the solar. And we integrate the solar power along with the biogas power, and we just maintain, because solar power, it is free of cost. The capex, of course, it is always there, but the opex, that is all you need is just solar light and sunlight. So there are schemes, there are grants, there are investors who are interested to invest in such type of project if it is scalable. If it is scalable, number two, if it is viable and well within the approach. So we can definitely help target groups, interested people, or the group of farmers to find out the investors and also the government benefits for this thing. So we can discuss it later on. Now, having discussed about this thing, we have already implemented more than 500 projects of micro and macro. If we consider the small scale projects, it goes into few thousands, 4,000 or 5,000 plants, micro scale. The small and medium projects, we already have quite a few projects across the India and also out of India. This is one of them, that very initial models. We just what we did. This was in early 90s. we have integrated this toilet waste or the sewage and the food waste along with this thing. This red is gas holder, and from that pipe you get the gas. So when there's a gas field, this thing, that is, we call it gas holder, it goes up, and when you open this valve, gas will be utilized, so it will go down. So again, when you just feed from this this thing, this is feeder. So when you feed the raw material over here, it will again generate the gas, and the cycle will keep on going. This is the closer view of the little bit bigger plant of this 2M cube plant. Now, based on the World Bank's survey, this 2M cube plant, it is bare minimum requirement in the family of 5 to 6 people. So if we compare it with the LPG, what will happen? That LPG cylinder, it is 14.2 kg, and it lasts for almost one month plus, let's say 5 weeks. Now every day you are consuming almost 400 grams to 500 grams of the gas. So that divided by, so into 30 days. So when you convert this 2m cube of the gas into LPG, that comes to 470 grams. So this is equivalent, this capacity, it is equivalent to 14.2 kg of the cylinder. So daily you need 30 to 40 kg of the dung, and you feed it over here, and you keep on getting the desired or required quantity of the gas, and it is available 24/7. On top of that, you get this fertilizer, which can be used in your farm. This is another version of the higher capacity. This is 4m cube. This was done at NDDB campus in Anand, Gujarat. This is a little bit larger size, 15 cubic meter. These are all toilet blocks, and this plant is being run on human waste as well as food waste. So this is the boys hostel, and the food waste and the human waste is used, and the same gas is going back to the kitchen for the cooking. So this is excellent model of the upcycling or total processing of the waste in the rural area. This is the same project what I discussed about Bid Budrak in the southern Gujarat, and it has 2 digesters, and it is catering right now 125 families. There's a similar project. You can see in the backdrop there are 4 toilet blocks having 5 toilets in each, and in the backdrop of that there's a village. So this village has almost 350 cattle, plus they use the toilet. All this waste, it is going in straight into this digester, and every single household is getting the gas through the pipeline. So it is operational since 2008, almost 12 years plus. So you can see the actual real-time pictures of these biogas burners, which is in the operation. So this is left side, the bigger burner, that is industrial burner, and they are converting the milk into the khoya, that is called mawa, and this is regular our household burner. We also use the hydroponics. This hydroponic unit, it is set up in the Sumul dairy, and this air, you have to maintain the temperature of 26 to 27 degree around the clock, and then only you will be able to grow the crop. Now this air conditioning machine, it is being run on the biogas, so we don't use any electricity, and we use this AC on biogas power, that is for 8 to 10 hours a day. So that is also excellent example or the demo project. So we are growing the cattle feed high in protein, and we just give this thing to the cattle every day. So this is inside view, and you don't need any soil. You can just use the tray, and this is you have wheat and you have maize. These are two major products or the crops which is preferred by the cattle. This AC is we are using, as I said, it is run on the biogas. The outlet of the that digestate, you can see this is black color. We call it black gold. So it is in the Tapi district, again a tribal area, and this farmer, he's selling this compost as well as the liquid fertilizer at 15 rupees per liter. So that is because whatever water you use to convert this dung along with in the slurry, that water it is converting in at par with Bisleri water. That is 15 rupees per liter. This is the composting bed. You can just see this. These are earthworms. Culture is also visible, and that moisture level you have to maintain around 30-35%, and the organic carbon level goes to the 12 to 18%, which is phenomenal. And it has the trace elements besides the NPK. It has copper, it has zinc, it has manganese, it has iron. Everything is there. And top of that, the best part is in this compost, organic compost produced through biomethanation process, anaerobic digestion, we have humus or the humic acid. Now, humic acid, it has significance. It is catalyst. Without humic acid, those who are, from the agriculture background would come to know that humus or the humic acid, if we just purchase per kg rate is 10,000 rupees plus right now, and this is naturally generated during the process. It's free of cost over here in this process, and that converts all these trace elements into basic amino acid level, which is required by the different cultures in the soil. So that gives you better porosity. It vitalizes your productivity of the soil, and as a result, we increase the per acreage yield. This is the large scale, or you can say commercial scale project. This is in the Surat, and this is 1,000 meter cube capacity. This can take up to 20 metric tons of the dung a day. And if we convert this thing into in terms of CNG, this goes to 420 kg of CNG every day. And the top roof, we have used the solar panel for pumps and all. You can see this is the fresh dung coming from the Gaushala, and we are just mixing it through this sieve, and this is the stirrer. And then once it becomes a homogeneous mixture, we pump it into the digester, and then it is autopilot mode. Except feeding, mixing and feeding, there is it's totally automatic process. Once you feed it, you forget it. So there's a backside or the other side of the digester. From once you get the digester filled with the dung, you will get the gas, and this is a column. This is that column wherein we are converting this biogas into CNG. And this yellow tank stores the CNG, which is 90% plus. We go up to 93-94% of the methane, and the same methane, once you use the compressor, we can fill it in the cylinder, and you can use it as a vehicle fuel. Also, you can use it. This is the generator. So over here, we are converting it into power, and the same power is being used in the cattle feed plant. This is the slurry. Once you have captured the gas, converted into CNG, what you are getting, another product is this is slurry. We use the gravity to segregate the solid and liquid. So from the bottom, the liquid will be collected into underground tank. From the top, we will be getting this is another digester. This is a feeding line, control room. This is balloon. where the raw biogas has been stored. This balloon in the previous picture, it was mounted on the top of the digester. It depends on the land availability at the project site. We can use, this is refinery, and we convert this raw biogas into CNG. You can see this is a online multi-gas analyzer, which gives you the value of the gas, online gas. What is the percentage of methane? What is the percentage of carbon dioxide? And what is the percentage of hydrogen sulfide? Hydrogen sulfide needs to be less than 20%, 20 ppm. Over here we maintain 5. Methane has to be minimum 90%, which we maintain. And this has to be 5 to 6%. You can see this is a cascade where this is a high pressure compressor, and this is another plant, and we are compressing this gas at 200 kg pressure, and which is filled in the cascade. Now this all projects are in the rural area. So friends, it doesn't mean that rural area cannot have such sophisticated industry. We can have, this is cryogenic technology we are using. If I go back, this is cryogenic technology we are using to convert raw biogas, which is produced from the food waste, from the dung, from the sewage septage, from the press mud, and we are converting it into CNG, state of the art. And this cascade, it is going straight to the filling station for the vehicles. The same we have also paid in online gas distribution system, that is in the GAIL, Gas Authority of India Limited, the gas pipeline which supplies the PNG, pipe natural gas. We are feeding the same gas over there because there is no difference. So this kind of technology we have developed within India, and we are also exporting it. And we are in the pursuit of making our villages self-sustainable, more prosperous, more self-dependent, so that our village people, friend of villages, they just remain there. When you have better agriculture produce, when you have clean air, when you have organic food, when you have industry, when you have employment, when you have market ready, available at your doorstep, why would you go to the cities? City is, I think it is just an illusion that we have better life in the city. People from the city now going back to the basics. They're coming back to the villages. We are searching solars in the farmhouses. Why? The trend has been reversed. So think about it. So we are there to help you out. We are there to complement your efforts. This is another picture of the organic compost. This is automatic machine wherein that slurry, without sending it to the gravity filter, we straightway use this filter and you get the dry compost just ready for the packaging. This is real-time picture. You can see these are the sacks, the bags we have filled with the compost. So this is our team. I'll just quickly browse through. I think, yeah, we are running short of time as well. This is our contact details, our website address, and my phone number is also there. My email ID is also there. So gentlemen and okay, friends, I would request if you have any question, anything, please feel free.
Thank you, Mr. Vihar Pancholi, for a very interesting presentation. I now request the participants to ask their questions. We'll also be posting the speaker's contact details in the chat window. Over to the participants for any questions, please. Any questions?
So I would request if they have any, I mean, I'm comfortable in Hindi as well, but still if there is any language barrier, please help me as an interpreter.
Okay. No, all the participants can speak English.
Oh,
Right.
wonderful.
Yes.
Just,
Yes, participants. Any questions? Yes, Surya. Yes, Mr. Suryakant Kulkarni.
Yeah, I'm from Maharashtra, Parmani, and my question to Mr. Panchali that we are working already here with the villagers. So if we want to associate with you or having some programs here, what we can do? How to way forward?
right, Kulkarni Sahab, what we can do is, if you can just give a little bit more idea about your activities. Are you working with a cluster of villages or is only one village?
No, cluster of village. We are working here in one block,
Great.
Palam
Okay.
block.
And okay. And then you are working. I mean, is it your NGO or
Yeah, NGO.
wonderful?
We are working since
What
last 40 years with villagers.
Excellent. Kulkarni Sahab, I would request you to just send me the brief profile or of the
G,
NGO and
G.
also your hinterland, the area you
Yeah,
are covering under
yeah, yeah.
for the activities. Why I'm asking?
Uh,
Because there are a couple of schemes
yeah,
recently introduced by the central government, and we are
G.
part of that. So we can definitely kickstart one project over there. If we can
Sure.
show more than 250 direct beneficiaries, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
get 2.5 crore grant from the government.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
So we are
and
already connected with villagers. लोगों के साथ में ही काम करते हैं. We have बचत गट जो महिलाएं के आप बोलते हैं. We are having
जी,
1,000 and more the
हाँ जी,
self-help
हाँ जी.
groups and even खेतों के साथ नाबार्ड के साथ में हमने farmers club बनाए हैं. So there
Oh,
are
very good.
35 farmers club and members are more than 1,200. So ground is there already.
नहीं तो कुलकर्णी साहब ये तो बहुत बढ़िया काम हो सकता है बिकॉज अगर आपने
जी
500-600 बेनिफिशियरीज अगर दिखाए तो अगर जैसे आपने
जी
बताया कि 1200-1500 लोग हैं देन व्हाट वी कैन डू हम लोग वही प्रोजेक्ट 1 2 3 करके ऐसे
या
दिखा सकते
या
हैं एंड
या ये
आल्सो
नाबार्ड
वी
की हेल्प
कैन
से हमने
गेट
किया था फार्मर्स क्लब का
जी
लेकिन उनका उसके बाद में कुछ नहीं था फार्मर्स क्लब है फिर बाद में कुछ करेंगे ऐसा था बाद में कुछ नहीं हो सका उनसे और रह गया वी आर रिलेटेड विद नाबार्ड बट ग्राउंड इज देयर नाउ
नहीं
20-25 गांव
कुलकर्णी
में
साहब
हमारे
सॉरी
कांटेक्ट भी बहुत अच्छे हैं
बहुत
जी
बढ़िया
जी
नहीं
सर
ये जो है इसमें नाबार्ड कहीं नहीं आएगा आई विल
नहीं
टेल
दैट्स आई नो पहले हमने काम किया उनके साथ
अच्छा
हाँ
अच्छा नहीं लेकिन ये जो है वी विल डेफिनेटली गेट दिस थिंग डन अभी
आई विल
बिकॉज
राइट यू
ऑफ
सर
ये थोड़ा कोविड का थोड़ा सिचुएशन वो
हाँ
हो गया है
हाँ ठीक
लेकिन
है
उसके बाद डेफिनेटली हम लोग डॉक्यूमेंटेशन चालू कर सकते हैं
हम आपको लिखेंगे पूरा
प्लीज प्लीज वी कैन डेफिनेटली डू दिस करेंगे अपने
थैंक यू
Yes,
सर
thank you. Okay.
थैंक यू
Okay, other questions, please? Questions from other participants? All right, we have no more questions, looks like, and all the other participants are clear about your projects and activities, looks like. We have now completed the round of questions. I'd like to thank Mr. Vihar Pancholi on behalf of Agriculture Information for taking his time to speak with us. I now request the organizer of the meeting, Ms. Rajini Jain, to please close the meeting. Thank you.
थैंक यू थैंक यू
Thank you, Mr. Lakshmipati. I'd like to thank the speaker, Mr. Vihar Pancholi, for taking the time to talk with us. I also like to thank all the participants for their time. The meeting will now be closed.
थैंक यू